Alex Plotkin. In Sean's world, the red team is the good guys and the blue team is the bad guys. In my world, it's actually opposite. The red teams is the guy who want to penetrate the systems and want to attack the system. Is the blue guys, they're actually the one who protecting. That's why our company have the blue colors. We're protectors. Okay. A little bit about myself. I'm in cybersecurity for 20 years. In your mode, I'm an entrepreneur. I had a number of companies that I successfully sold, some less successfully, but I like cybersecurity. I like what I do. And like someone said, if you do what you like, you never go to your job. I actually enjoy what I do, and that's why I'm here, because I enjoy to talk about what I do. If you want to be in touch with me, you're more than welcome. My LinkedIn is open. So this is the part of 3 hours workshop. Alex told me it should be 45 minutes. I created 45 minutes, and yesterday she told me 15 minutes. So I didn't have time to adjust for 15 minutes, but we compromised on 30. Okay, that's what you're gonna get today. So that's sometimes it's kind of jumping. On the 3 hours, you have smooth transition. Here we will jump a little bit. What I want to show you is just what happened in Canada lately. Okay, so 15 million Canadians, the information was exposed by Life Labs. It's one of the worst data breaches in Canada. Why? Because it's not just my name, my health card, my address, my phone, my family, my medical condition, and everything in between. Okay? I will talk about it in continuation. It's one of the famous things in cybersecurity environment. I'll talk about it. The another one, CKIDS. Who didn't hear in the news that CKIDS actually had to stop surgeries, treatment for the kids, because these nice guys, Logbing, actually penetrated the system and shut down the systems. What actually happened, it was done by associate group, not by the real gang. The real gang apologized, released the encryption keys, and helped the hospital to return to the production. Again, it took 2 weeks with hospital almost shut down, but actually the bad guys say, oh, we didn't know it's a sick hospital, we're very, very sorry. Here's your data, and we promise never post it on the internet. The last thing is Toronto Library. It's what happened in the last 2 weeks. I don't know how many of you are aware what's going on, but actually majority of the system down. Okay, I'm mentioning this because they actually had a good red team and they prepared themselves. It's actually some of the people very concerned with what happened, but when I talk to the people in the industry, they listen, they were really prepared. Okay, as soon as the regular web server was shut down and nobody could access this, roughly in 4 or 5 hours, there was another website that says, we are sorry, our system's down. This is the services that's working, this is the services that not. They provided information to the press, to the TV, so they were really prepared with the full scope of, you can call it red teaming, but we'll talk about it, how the preparation take place, but they were ready. Not like Life Lab, that's were not ready at all, and like for 2 months there's no medical labs or anything on results. These guys actually were prepared. But generally, what is cybersecurity in Canada? Okay, I'm talking about SMB. I'm not talking about corporate world. The data breach can cost $1 billion on the long term. But if we're talking about Canada, it's Canadian statistic, it's not the worldwide statistic. 71% of SMB in Canada experienced some sort of cybersecurity attack just last year. It can be malicious emails, it can be loss of data, it can be someone get access to their clients or business information. 82% of ransomware attack in 2022 were against companies with less than 1,000 employees. Very, very frequently when I'm talking to the small businesses, and Cyberwall is a company that specializes in small businesses, so I talk to the clients with 50 employees, 100 employees, 500 employees, and I say, who will come after us? We're small guys with like I have 100 people on the manufacturing floor who will come after me. And then someone come after him and there are 2 months, nothing working. Not every company can recover after that. Oh, it's actually, I didn't remember it's on the slide, but I know few businesses that couldn't recover after cyber attack. It's not just the cost of ransomware or whatever. We have one client who came to us because the whole operation was wiped out. So before that they had nothing, and then when they rebuilt everything, the owner came to us and listen, please do something so it will never happen again. So I'm talking about our main work with this, so Diana DC. This is how Diana DC came to us. They were just wiped out, the whole operation in 2 months. They didn't know they come back to do what they do. It just literally, it's very small business, 15 people, a few millions dollar operation. They couldn't recover by themselves. It was a very long story. The average cost of data breach is $600,000 in Canada for SMB. Think about how many SMBs cannot recover after that, just to bear the cost. Less than 10% of IT budget to look at security. You come into the company as 200, 300 employees. They have 5 people in IT department. What do about cybersecurity? We have firewall. That's it. Okay. So no, that's not what you're supposed to do. So who is after us? And that's you have the whole. You ask for diversity in the red teaming. You have the whole diversity here. We have criminals who is after our money. We have activists who want the world to be like shown the great place with green trees and blue skies. We have criminal hackers. There is a difference between criminal and criminal hackers. I still try to distinguish between them. Competitors. I know it's not popular opinion, but yes, even in Canada, one company is sometimes trying to steal company from another company. Okay? We don't talk about it. We're Canadians, but it's happening. Foreign nations. Guys, you cannot imagine, and it's from our Canadian Cybersecurity Center in Ottawa, how many attacks every minute Canadian businesses, I'm even not talking about government because we're talking about SMB right now, how many SMB have attacks from foreign nations, and I'm talking about China, North Korea, Russia, and I can continue, okay? So, each one of them has their own goals. I think one of the things that we don't think when we talk cybersecurity is the last one, is grounded employees. One of the most famous attacks in Canadian history, I would say, it was when Desjardins, someone they call the bank, someone they call credit union, was shut down by one of the employees who just stole the data and posted it on the dark web. All the clients, 15 million clients with all the personal information, financial transactions, and everything else. He wasn't happy with his salary. I believe for the next 10 years, he has 3 times a day lunch, drinks, and things to do. Because of shortness of time, we will not describe how exactly they get into our environments and our sensitive information. There are many, many ways, and they become more and more sophisticated. And with AI coming into our life, I'm sure people just thinking how to use it in a real day-to-day activities, these guys already have the whole tools environment just built on AI, okay? And we need to be ready to combat it. The only way to combat sophisticated guys is what we call defense in depth. It's not just to put the firewall, it's not just to protect the endpoint, it's the whole program that needs to be done. It starts with decide who you are, what you need to protect, how you're going to protect, to build the whole program, the policy and everything, and then to go and implement. And it's not $1 million program. If we're talking about SMB, it's not killing the business, but it can protect the business. And we spoke with Sean today. Everybody has insurance. Today, we have worked with few insurance brokerages. More than 10% of businesses decline for cybersecurity insurance, just because they're not complying with simple checklist that insurance company asking today. any business to fill out before they provide them insurance. So think about that 10%, every 10th business on the street doesn't have cybersecurity insurance. What will happen when they do get data breach, and then the incident response team tell them, listen, unless you transfer us $200,000, $300,000, we're even not coming to help you. Okay? And that's the prices. And then they call the insurance, and insurance will, oh, I told you don't have cybersecurity insurance. Or you do have, but when you fill out this form, you, small store on the corner, told us you have firewalls, you have managed detection and response, and you have training for your employees and everything. Can you give us a proof that you did all this in the last 3 months? And if you don't, you're paying for this. And we don't care that you pay $50,000 for cyber insurance, we're not coming. And we see it more and more and more. So this is what you need to do, okay? I'm not telling you that you need to do every single thing. The most important is to start to thinking, to map your data, to map your organization, to map your systems, what is more important, what you want to protect. So I'm talking right now basics. It's not technical presentation. It's for people who have basic understanding in computers, okay? Very basic. So start with cybersecurity awareness. Talk to your employees. Explain them that you don't need to open every email. You don't need to click on every link. And yes, there are bad people who come in after you. Cybersecurity policy and procedure. Like I said, you need to map your organization to decide what you want to protect and write a policy how you're going to protect these organizational assets. Mostly information, sometimes systems, okay? Think about bank. For bank, most important thing is it's the data. But what will happen if data is protected, but the system itself is down for 5 hours? Right? The basic things, update regularly. I know people who never upgrade their computers. Well, every time I try to upgrade my Windows, it shut it down for 15 minutes, I don't do it anymore. Not a problem, but it will take me 15 minutes to get access to your system and to control your PC. Please do. Just put it in automatic and do it. Back up your data. I'm talking to the people and people tell me, listen, I do USB. I say, okay, so when last time you did it? Oh, last month. I do it every day. So when last time you did it? Last week. When last time you tried to recover file from this USB? Never. Because we copying file from this USB, we're never even trying to recover this data. 30% of these cases, the data will be lost. Now, when you have your own personal computer in home and the most important thing you have, it's your letter to your son principal in the school, probably USB backup is okay. But if you run the business, you do need to put a little bit more effort. And again, guys, it's not expensive things. I don't know a company, business, that cannot afford $100, $200 a month to back up the data. If you cannot afford $200 a month to back up your data, you're in the wrong business. Okay? Like as simple as this. Check what you click when you download, because that's roughly 70% of how any cyber attack starts. Use complicated password and MFA. I don't remember if I cut this slide or not, but still, the 5 most popular password. Password, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, the most sophisticated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? It's still I love you. Okay? It's like a number 5 on the list, and administrator. Like, that's the 5 most popular passwords in North America. I don't have Canadian statistics. I have only North American statistics. Privacy concern. We work with a number of clients on the privacy program. I'm not smart enough to work on privacy, so we're collaborating with a company. That's the only thing what they do. They do privacy. It's for lawyers who decided they don't want to be lawyers anymore, and they can charge, instead of $600 an hour, now they can charge $200 an hour. Okay, but they do exactly the same job. So the first thing they say when they come to a company and say, why are you collecting all this client information? Do you really need all this information? Do you really need to know what's the favorite color of the socks of this client? Right? Probably not. So don't collect this information, as simple as it is. And the reason is very simple. it's not a matter of if. At some point, you will have a security breach. You may be very prepared to it, and it will be limited breach, but you will have a visit from privacy officer from Ottawa. And then he will ask you, oh, there is 1 million people whose information right now for sale on the dark web because you didn't protect your system properly. And now please explain me why you have all this personal information and you even don't do a service for these people, right? Like there is sometimes the only thing I want to do is to have a nice alarm on my phone, right? Why the system asking my email, my address, my everything? Because they're collecting data. If these guys breached, they know everything about me. So collect only what you need. That's step number 1. Step number 2, and that's what we started to see in the United States. They far ahead of us, especially California, in privacy and data protection. There's a few cases in the United States. Insurance company was breached. 50 million records were leaked. For Canadian insurance company, 50 million records is not a big number. And so it was a case in a court. People wanted to get some compensation because the information was leaked. What judge wanted to say? He says, okay, 15 million records by American law, you can be penalized $1,000 per breach. And me as a judge, I just decided that each record is breach on itself. $50 million, $1,000 for each record. So that's what judge decided. So obviously this insurance company says, guys, we just chapter 11 tomorrow because we cannot pay $50 billion. And they get to the federal court and it was reduced for, I don't remember, $100 million or something like this. But that's why judge decided what he decided, because he said, you collected all this information. It wasn't encrypted. It was on every single system you have, and you do nothing about it. Okay? So it was a case of negligence, and some people were very upset. Cybersecurity assessment pen test, red teaming, right? So yes, you have to do it. There is a reason why cyber insurance company want you to do. We have clients every year, we give them a report with a list of recommendations how to fix the gaps in the control, and they do nothing. And the next year report will look exactly the same as the previous year, and I'm pretty sure the next year will look exactly the same. When I come to the law firm with 500 lawyers, and I give them a report that's cost them $20,000, that they have 2 lists of recommendations to do something, and then the senior partner who is charging $1,000 an hour telling me, oh, it's cost $10,000. We cannot afford it. Okay, let's meet in the court when one of your clients will sue you. Okay, as simple as it is. Email and browser security. Email security, 70 to 75 attacks starting from an email. The link that you receive in the email, you click on it and you're exposed. Someone have control over your system. I'll talk about email security in a minute. We have sophisticated world today that we, as a cybersecurity company, can protect your PC having some agent on your computer. We can control what system you access. We control it 24/7. We collect all the logs and we know what you do. So today, insurance company will ask you these smart words. People don't understand what it is. They say yes, and sorry, when shit hits the fan, an insurance company coming and asking, so where's the logs that you told us you're collecting? 75% say, oh, sorry, we didn't understood what you're actually asking here. Oh, so yeah, that's the list of passwords. Okay. Okay. That suggestion way. So instead of to write a word, write a phrase. Do some manipulation. So that's what I do. A, it's at S, $, and be creative. So just so you understand, this password with today's technology is impossible to crack in less than 10 years. Okay? This length, if it's encrypted with key, standard key, 256 kilobytes, which is standard encryption today on any system, it will take you more than 10 years to crack. Today, in 5 years, it will be a day a second, I don't know. But today, if you have password like this, you're secure. MFA. Yes, I know the bad guys know how to overcome MFA. You still need to use it. Why? Because there is 2% of the hackers in the world who know how to overcome MFA. The rest, 28%, don't know how to do it, so you kind of protect it, okay? Yes, I know Lockheed Martin was compromised. I know Boeing was compromised. I know all these big guys were compromised and they have MFA. The teenager who just bought a script for $400, not targeting Boeing and not targeting Lockheed Martin, he's targeting you. And if you don't have MFA, for these $400, they will be able to crack you. Not you, your system. Okay, privacy. When I started my presentation, I told you that we just talking AI. The bad guys already using AI. This is not my, but profile from Facebook with a special program that just once people have access to your profile, this is all information about you. I can know everything about you. And now if I am a smart AI tool, I can craft the email that you will click it with a 97% probability. Because I know that you like dogs, I know you have dog, I know the brand of your dog food because you just posted it on Facebook, right? And you tweeted the clinic that you take your dog, that's how a great service was there. It was just 15 minutes wait. AI just collected all this information and created email for you that's sent to your inbox that says, hey, and your name, because they know who you are, right? They know you from Facebook. We are Alex Plotkin from your vet clinic. It was nice meeting you last time with your dog joking. And as a gesture for your spending $2,000 with us last time, because you just complained on Instagram that it cost you $2,000. As a compromise, please click here and get our voucher for $100 for the food for your doggy. The percentage of people that will click on it, 90%. Okay? So, all these girls, they look nice and they want to be my friends. And I'm not connecting with them not because my wife not allowing me, but because they have one goal, to collect my information. Okay? That's a picture from one of my friends' Facebook. I just literally took it. That's a whole application that's connected right now to his Facebook account. Each one of these applications have full access to his personal information, and we don't know who's standing behind this. If you remember, 2 or 3 years ago, there was a game, I believe it was on Facebook, that you make a picture of yourself, provide some information about you, and they show you how we're going to look in 25 years. Do you know that's actually the team who developed it? It's a KGB guy sitting in St. Petersburg and collecting information, image, and everything about you? No. Okay. I almost don't know anyone. I mean, women. Sorry, women, not personal. I spoke to my wife. I spoke to 3 or 4 friends of her. Every single one of them wanting to see how they're going to look in 25 years. Okay? You give it access to these apps, and they let them to collect all the information about you. Okay? So, now I have all this information about you. I know who you are, what you like, and I know everything about your employees. So I send a very well-crafted email asking to transfer $10,000 right away to this account because this vendor is pissed off and is going to shut down our system. 15% of employees transfer money. 15%. Okay? If you craft the email right, it was, that's the statistics. 17,000 companies in North America, it's not Canadian statistics, North America, were hit by CEO fraud since 2017. Okay? Globally, it's more than $2.3 billion. Usually, if email tell you that it's your tax information, that you just received wire transfer, or it's very, very urgent, it's probably spam, and it's the best case. It's maybe malicious, targeted. If someone tell you, I am from your bank, and they tell a greeting, dear friend, it's probably not from your bank. Okay? I don't know how many of you received email from PayPal that you just received the transfer and just need to click here to receive this money. The only problem that's actually it's not from PayPal, it's PayPal Mail or something like this, it's real email. Check the domains. Again, it's from 3,000. I was supposed to speak about 30 minutes about how you identify the emails and the website, but that's where we are. The average ransomware payment is $233,000 in Q3 2023. So it's a year ago. Believe me, it's higher now because they also have inflation. Okay? Roughly 60% of ransomware victims reported annual revenue less than $50 million. Why? Companies with $50 million usually have proper cybersecurity projects, plans, programs, teams that try to protect them. Usually someone who will penetrate these systems, they're not coming for these companies for ransomware. Usually they want to steal the data. Someone who penetrated Lockheed Martin or Boeing didn't care about ransomware. They cared about the new plan that's still in the design stage in Boeing. Okay? To penetrate Boeing, two teenagers for $400 cannot handle it. It's 1,000 people sitting in some bunker in North Korea and do it. And they do it. And they successfully doing that. So usually how we do it, someone create malicious code. User targeted through emails, websites, or USB drives. That's encrypt your files. I'm trying to run. They ask you for Bitcoin payment. Bitcoin payment made. Not guaranteed. 42% of ransomware victims recovered their data. What does it mean? That's 58% were not able to recover their data even after they paid ransomware. It's not my statistic, it's FBI statistic. Okay? So half of the people who paid the ransomware were still unable to recover their data. Why I am telling you this story? Do a backup. Have your own copy of your data. Only 6% of users in SMB, remember what I told you in the beginning? Only 6% back up the data daily, 14 monthly. We're talking SMB. We don't talking about banks and these guys that do it hourly, right? We're talking about SMB, 20% annually, and 35 never backed up their data. Again, that's a jump to the third part of the workshop. Let's talk about privacy. There are a number of legal frameworks in Canada, United States, in Europe, and more coming. There is new privacy law, I don't remember, bill something, that's sitting in Ottawa for the last 3 years. Canada has other things to deal with and not voting, but it's already passed the first vote. It was sent to some adjustment, it was done, it's just waiting on the list on what Canadian Parliament is supposed to vote. It's very, very, very close to GDPR because Canada signed an agreement with Europe, I don't remember before COVID or after COVID, and one of the paragraphs says that we align our privacy laws with GDPR in Europe. What does it mean? You will have to invest a lot of money in cybersecurity and in privacy. So when you start your business or you're just doing some new project, think about it now, because after the fact it costs much more. So what our Canadian regulation says, that we need to ensure we provide training for employees. Remember, 70% coming from the emails. So we need to train our employee what emails not to open. And that violation of a breach notification provision may lead to offenses, fines, and potentially factor on civil litigation. What does it mean? Canada, the only country in the world, developed world. I don't know what's happening in Kenya, okay? In developed world, that public company has no obligation to report cybersecurity attack. There is non-mandatory regulation for financial institution. So the federal government asking politely banks if they don't mind to tell the public if they have that data breach. What in Canada considered personal information? Everything. Like literally everything. Even your name is already considered as your personal information. Personally, it's called PII, personal identifying information. If I have your name as a CEO of other company, it's not considered PII because I have you as a, I don't know how to say, like a business contact. That's not considered PII, it's not under PIPEDA. But if I have in my phone, Alex Plotkin, my neighbor who lives on this street, and this is his phone, I just get half of these data fields in my phone. So if someone steals my phone, it's just a data breach for my neighbor information. Ontario, we're trying hard. We're trying, we're not there yet. But the only difference that's for Ontario, that's different from what will happen on a federal, we consider our employee information should be treated exactly the same as our client information. It's a huge blown up to the HR companies because now they need to go, if in Ontario, to do exactly the same job as the companies do for the client information. Okay? Now, additional thing that Ontario has, that's again, it's not in the law yet, it was voted twice, right? Again, we had other stuff to do, so we're not kind of, it's already 5 years in the process, but will be the first, actually already not first, Quebec already have it. Before Quebec has this new bill that's started, I believe, 6 months ago, maybe months or 2 months off, Ontario was the only province that wanted to make directors of the corporation personally liable for data breaches if the company had negligence. If director of the corporation, the board of directors did everything that's reasonable in a business case to protect the information and the breach still happened, director cannot be found guilty. But if the CISO of the company came 10 times to the board and told, guys, we need to patch our system. It's in the minutes of the board, and board decision was no because we don't have money. Every single member of the board can be charged for $10,000 personally, plus the whole board organization can be charged for $100,000. Now, Quebec moved one step forward, and they now charge corporation up to $1 million or 5% of the revenue, and I don't remember the amount for person, but they also implemented director's personal responsibility. I don't know how I'm with the time. I tried to do, yeah, I'm okay. So what we do to prevent the incident? Where is Sean with the red team? We need to create team, diversified team. We need someone from HR, we need someone from security, not IT security. Physical security, we need someone from IT security. We need someone from legal. We need someone who will take care of PR. We need someone who is at least senior VP in the company and can make decisions. Once you have this team, it's a different story. And we'll talk about it in a minute. You're supposed to have, as a company, written policies that your employees are supposed to know these policies. You're supposed to do mandatory periodic cybersecurity training. It's mandatory in Canada. Every single small business owner I'm talking have no clue that these even exist. Okay, so we're talking about training and how our government advise the community on the new laws. It exists for 5 years, nobody knows. Okay? Implement robust physical and network security. I think it's obvious, but not many do. Scan for vulnerability and address weaknesses. That's kind of the language of the law. Sorry, it's not law, it's bill. I don't know the difference, not legal advice, so I'm sorry. So, why we need the incident response team? When company experience data breach or any other sort of cybersecurity attack, someone needs to make decisions what to do. If you don't have this team, if this team doesn't have mandate to make decisions, who will make decision? IT guy. It has nothing to do with IT. It's a corporate decision what we do next. Do we have an incident? Do we go outside and tell everyone we have it? What our lawyers think about it, what our insurance company think about it. It's before IT guys even involved. IT guys just know everything encrypted and we don't have backup. Okay? From here on, it's a business problem. It's not IT problem. People don't realize it. And that's the difference between disaster recovery, how these IT guys will try to recover the data, and the business continuity. The C-level of people supposed to make decision how we continue our business if sorry issues happen. And it's not just IT. What happens if you have a terrorist with a gun entering your door? What's your next step? Asking the IT. Okay? So you're supposed to have any public company in Canada or any company that's collecting private information supposed to have privacy officer. How many companies have privacy officers in SMB market? I don't know. I have 2 hands and 2 feet. I think I'm covered. Okay? Like 10, 20. Legal. You need a lawyer. Why? And that's where we're coming back to Life Labs. Life Labs, it was pure negligence from the company management with under budgeting not just cybersecurity but IT. But they have really good lawyers. The first email the company sent out after they knew there is a data breach, it was to their lawyers. And lawyers tell them now, every email you send even to a technician in the field, you copy one of our law team, and now all these emails, it's a confidential information, and we cannot share it with the public. Government found that it was negligence and wanted to take them to the court. But it's all privileged information that cannot be shared with the public. There was never a day in the court to discuss what actually LifeLab supposed to compensate us, because I'm pretty sure everything in this room is information on the dark web. So that's why you need to have a lawyer. Okay? And again, it has nothing to do, it's IT event, has nothing to do with actually IT people. You need to have totally different team that will handle it. It's maybe one person on this team who actually IT guy. That's a very interesting case. I don't know how many of you know, but both MGM and Caesar Palace had a cybersecurity accident just 2 months ago. I really like this case because both companies sitting on the same strip in Las Vegas, facing each other to a totally different approach. Let's start with Caesar. Caesar Palace decided, when they found that there was a data breach, to pay $50 million as ransomware and never tell to anyone. And we didn't know they had a data breach for at least another 3 months until MGM was compromised by the same exactly gang that did Caesar Palace, and then there was negotiation, will MGM pay or not pay? The same guys told, but Caesar just paid us. Why you don't pay? That started the whole investigation, and they found that actually Caesar Palace paid $15 million. Actually, situation in Caesar Palace was much better from cybersecurity perspective. That's in MGM. And not because they invested more, it just happened that the hack happened in the system that's managed the loyalty program. So everyone who ever stayed in Caesar Palace, or member of the casino club, or ever given the information now, I don't know for sale or not, but bad guys have it. The problem is that they have actually all your information, including your passports. So if there is another Alex Plotkin sitting right now in Las Vegas, I wouldn't be surprised. Okay? Now, MGM took totally different approach. They had the incident response team that's made a decision, we're so good, we're not going to pay. We're not negotiating with terrorists. We don't pay. What happened, it took them more than months to fully recover. The revenue reduced by $100 million for these months. The market cap down $2 billion. I show you this not to show how poor the MGM or Caesar Palace, but for you to understand this has nothing to do with IT. This has to do with a business decision made by board of these two public corporations how to handle incident that's happened, right? So MGM, it was much worse. They actually stopped the payment system in the hotel. They stopped key management system in a hotel. So if you were in a hotel, you couldn't open your door. You couldn't pay with your credit card in anywhere in a hotel. Obviously, the casino was number one where people tried to pay and they couldn't. That's where we come in with $100 million loss, right? 80 million from 100 is from casino. Okay, now, but everybody now knows that Caesar will pay. If I'm a hacker, I know these guys not going to pay. These guys going to pay. Where I'm going next? Yes, it's cost them 15 million. Yes, it's cost them 100 million. But I'm coming here. People don't think of consequences of the decisions they make. At this moment, when IT guy came and said, hey guys, we have data breach, someone stole all our information and promising to post it on the dark web, some people in suits and ties decided that it's going to pay. It was pure business decision, part of the BCP project or plan, okay? That's how we connected to advisors and consultants. It has nothing to do with IT. It's business process. Wrong tab. Okay, so how majority of people respond to the incident? Nothing happened. Believe me, we have few clients have an incident, and oh, we already recovered. So do you want us to do anything about it? Like to put some controls in place, like renew a firewall, maybe emails again? No, I'm good, I just have it, so I'm probably not going to have another 2 years. Okay, see you in 2 years. Now, thank you very much. I was trying to do it as quick as I promised. I'm roughly at the time, 32 minutes. That's it. Any questions? I'm here.